For a decade, I've had this subtle but unrelenting desire to create YouTube videos, and I've failed to follow through on that desire in pretty spectacular fashion. I thought that this craving would, burn out over time, but it hasn't. And this subtle hum of desire, it's not strong enough to inspire action, but it's persistent enough that it doesn't fade away with time. And so rather than let this reality perplex me and guilt me, and rather than try to exert a bunch of willpower to overcome it, I thought I would take a step back and simply examine it. I want to get to the truth of what's preventing me from actualizing my creative potential. I'm hoping this examination not only leads to clarity for me, but is useful to you if you have a yearning to create something but you haven't. Let's talk about the real reason I will never succeed at YouTube. I want to set the frame. The intention here is not to solve my problem. It's to understand my problem, because I can't fix what I don't fully understand. And honestly, if this was an easy fix, I would have done it a long time ago and I'd be a successful creator by now. And in the spirit of understanding, I think there's a truth that must be acknowledged up front. And that's that I simply don't want this bad enough yet. Let's be real. If I really wanted to be a YouTuber and create content on video, I would be doing that consistently. And I know that's true because I've done some pretty compelling things in my life. I wanted to succeed in tech sales. I did that. I wanted to backpack Southeast Asia. I did that. I wanted to move to Seattle. I wanted to move to Austin. I wanted to, build new social circles and throw parties and learn salsa. And the things that I have in my life are things that I simply couldn't live without. I mean, they took effort, sure, but they also came relatively naturally. I didn't need to spend a bunch of hours watching motivational videos to do those things. I didn't need to read a bunch of self-help books to go do those things. And so what is it with YouTube? Like, what is the gap here? What is preventing me from accomplishing this? I really want to understand. And the reason I'm so adamant about understanding this is because if I am going to do this or pursue this, I want it to be sustainable, right? I want it to be enjoyable. And so rather than letting this creative work on YouTube be this boogeyman that kind of creeps in my mind, I thought I would use this medium in real time right now to examine what's stopping me from blooming into a creator. And so I want to start with where I'm at, because I can't really get to where I'm going if I don't know where I'm starting from. And I think the bare foundation of where I'm starting from is that I just don't really want this that badly. The desire is there, but it's kind of a nice to have, and people don't achieve their nice to haves. And one way of looking at it, this conversation could end right here. It's like, do you want it? Sort of. Do you want it bad enough to actually take action? No. Great, we'll go do something else with your life. But the thing is, I've tried that. I've been trying that for 10 years, and for whatever reason, this desire to create through video persists. I think it might be helpful to delve a few layers deeper into why I don't want this that badly. What are the self-imposed limitations I have? What are the truths and the untruths and the beliefs that are keeping me stuck in this gray area? Let's delve deeper. I believe a primary reason I'm stuck is that I'm not clear on where this journey could take me. If you came to me right now and you said, Tyler, there's a briefcase with $1 million in it. It's yours. You have to go get it, but here's the location. What I wouldn't do is go ask people for mentorships on how to find the briefcase. I would not go to YouTube and type in the most effective way to find the briefcase. And I definitely wouldn't be making a video titled Why I'll Never Succeed at Finding the Briefcase. I would simply stand up, move towards the door intuitively, and go find the briefcase. When the outcome of a particular action is clear, there's typically not a need to sit around and obsess about the how. With this briefcase, for example, I'm immediately moved to take action. I might use a tool to go find, I might reach into my pocket and use Google Maps to type in the location, but even as I'm doing that, I'm moving towards the briefcase. And what I'm not doing is sitting at home and trying to predict and prepare for all the potential obstacles that I could face on the way to the briefcase, right? Rather, I'm in motion heading towards the goal, and as obstacles come up, I deal with them in real time. With the pursuit of YouTube, I'm not so clear on where it can take me or where I want it to take me. I can look at other people's journeys and get a sense for like the possibilities and the outcomes, but it's uncertain, and that's for me to figure out. I'm hopeful that in a future video, I'll be able to articulate, here's my intention with this, here's where I hope it takes me, here are a few potential outcomes that I'd be excited about, but I can't do that in this moment. Right now, I would say I'm more in touch with what I don't want. There are just a few aspects of my life situation that are non-ideal, and so I know what I want to, get released from, but that's nice to know, but it's not sufficient. As for what I do want, I want to reduce my reliance on my 9-to-5. I want to do creative work that is authentic to me, and I want that work to empower me to actualize my potential, not only my creative potential, but also in other domains too. I want to actualize my spiritual potential, financial, social, physical. So ideally, this work is so uniquely me that it leads to really interesting outcomes across those domains. If I were to challenge myself on this inquiry, I think it would be, Tyler, if you're gonna lean in on creative work, you're gonna have to surrender to uncertainty and unpredictability, right? Even if I have an outcome in mind, that's not guaranteed. And most creators will end up telling you, after they reach a success in their field, they'll tell you and they'll look back and they'll say, I never could have predicted the way my path unfolded. And so if you're on your creative path, I'd love to get your perspective if you want to share it. When you started, did you have that outcome in mind, and did you get that outcome or did you get something else? What unfolded for you? Another reason I will never succeed at YouTube is because I'm not sure if it's gonna help anybody. Hear me out on this one. I don't want to be an entertainer. I don't want to be Mr. Beast. I don't want to make the most entertaining content possible. I just want to, if anything, share my insights, my perspective, my experience in a way that ideally has some type of impact on people, and then creates a community of people who resonate with me and can help me grow as well. And this may sound a little odd to say, but I am not completely convinced that it's possible to help people by creating YouTube videos. At least not on the topics and the material that I want to talk about. YouTube can clearly help you achieve tactical goals, mechanical goals. Like I play guitar. If I want to learn how to play a song on the guitar, I can go to YouTube, type in the song name, guitar, tutorial, and 5 minutes later, I leave as a changed person, right? I know how to play that song on guitar. But with topics around self-realization, spirituality, wealth, social circle, I question if this type of content really has an impact on people. It's kind of like YouTube can teach you the chords, but it can't help you write your own symphony, In this realm of self-actualization, so to speak, come on, that's a symphony, that's jazz, that's your unique masterpiece, and nobody can tell you how to do it. You can be inspired by a story, but no one can tell you how to create your own unique masterpiece. It's just not possible. And so that is why I question my own level of impact. If these self-development videos are really just entertainment, if they're just another dopamine hit, I'm just not sure if I can sustain the motivation to do that for the long term. It's clear that this type of content can inspire and make people feel seen and understood, and that's awesome. I mean, that's beautiful, really. But as far as the actual impact, it's not so clear to me. What is clear in this moment is that this content, it can be used as a way to understand myself, right, and to solve my own problems. And that's interesting to me. That could be a reason for me to want to do this, because I do sincerely want to be the best person that I can be, actualize myself in these different ways. And so maybe that's how I should view it. I don't know, but there is a part of me that does want to help people. And when I question whether or not that's even possible, it does, it dampens my spirit a bit. As you can see, this particular inquiry needs some more attention. I need to reflect on it a bit more. I need to talk to people that I trust about this a bit more. And I'm also open to pushback. I mean, I have 1,000 subscribers. Like, what's your take? I mean, when you think about this level of content around self-development, let's just call it that, has it really made an impact on your life? Like, has it? Like, truly? Leave a comment down below with your perspective on that. Another reason I will never succeed at YouTube is because I'm afraid to let go of my existing self-image. I like who I've become. This avatar, I'm very comfortable with it. People like it. I like it. I've done enough therapy that it doesn't cause me that many problems. And I don't really need to think too much about what people think about me, because I keep my self-expression pretty contained to, people who are close to me, people who I love and care about. And if I want to truly succeed as a creator of any type, this version of myself, it's not gonna work. I mean, if I wanna go where Tyler has never gone before, I can't go there with Tyler. I mean, at least not this version. I am being called to express my authenticity in a way that I have not before. And that's gonna require newfound levels of vulnerability. And it's gonna require me to transform the way I show up in the world. It will also require me to sink really deep into my own truth and to relinquish what you think about me. Literally what you, the person watching this, thinks about me. Because my authenticity cannot bloom into its potential if I'm busy trying to maintain a self-image. And there absolutely is a part of me, a pretty big part of me, that just wants to maintain a self-image. Like, I want to have some control over what you think about me, what my friends, family, coworkers think about me. And so with all of that acknowledged, there is this sense that if I do commit to creative work wholeheartedly, that part of me has to die. And that sounds dramatic, but that's actually how it feels to me, in my body and in my heart. And for all I know, getting through that dying process and getting to the other side of it, it might be the most rewarding, incredible thing I've ever experienced. But I don't know that for sure. It might be terrible. It might be really hard. Alongside that, there's also uncertainty and doubt. I don't really have the best track record for doing this stuff consistently. And even if I did, I might make 20 videos and then give up and waste a bunch of resources and time. I mean, maybe all of this is just better off as a vision in my mind that I never execute on. Like, that's possible. Like, maybe I should just go another 10 years with this in my head and I can just leave it a mystery. And all this puts me at a crossroads. It's like the option to embrace and maintain my current self-image, which I like and has gotten me to pretty cool places in my life, or dropping particular aspects of my current avatar and allowing it to evolve into whatever that version looks like that could successfully do creative work. And what's scary about that is just, I don't know what that looks like. I know I'm not that right now. So this side is unpredictable. It's uncertain. And I haven't really gone far enough down the path to have a sense for what this looks like at all. I feel like if the path is there, I'm standing at the edge right now looking at it, trying to decide if I should even walk it. So I have no idea what I look like at the end of it, you know? It's intense. But you know, I'm here now. You know, I'm sitting in front of the camera now. I'm showing up for the conversation. I'm standing at the path and I'm looking at it. And I am proud of that, you know, because what I don't want to do is die and look back and wonder, had I just put a little bit of effort towards this, what could have happened? You know, when I think about the question of like, what do you have to do in order to die complete? That question brings something up in me where it's like, you've got to create something. And videos, it may not be the ultimate version of giving my gifts, but it seems like an iteration of it. And so I'm here for the conversation. I'm sitting here. I'm present. I'm here. I'm just going to show up to the conversation and engage in this war of art. If anybody did get this far, I mean, something must have resonated with you. I'm doing this examination and this video for me and for me alone. I really do not anticipate anybody clicking on this video. And I'm also not here for sympathy or encouragement. You know, I just needed to take a look at where I'm at and name it and just really point at it and be real with myself, be real with anybody who's watching. And then I thought it would be interesting to do that examination within the creative medium that is calling me. You know, because this desire to create, it ebbs and it flows, right? Sometimes I have grandiose visions of going all in on YouTube. Sometimes even creating this video, sometimes it feels like the dumbest idea I've ever had. Like, honestly, it feels that way. But again, it's been a decade and I still can't seem to shake this kind of inclination to create like this. And if you're this far into the video, I imagine you also have something that feels authentically unique to you that you're being called to do as well. And when you're not doing that, it's hard, you know, it does chip away at my self-esteem. It does make me question, like, when I see those videos from, you know, almost 10 years ago, I think, dang, Tyler, if you only would have committed when you were 23, imagine how far you'd be. You'd probably be, I mean, who knows where you'd be. That's just not how my journey unfolded. I had other things that I needed to accomplish in my life to, you know, bloom into who I am today and to put me in a position where I do feel like I have a lot more to potentially give. You know, I've had life experiences that I think may empower me to be the type of creator who can have a bigger impact than I would have been able to have had I just started and committed to this in the beginning. And something important that I wanted to call out is that I think these creative barriers deserve respect. You know, I had no interest at all in creating some video where I say, here are the 5 things that I did to overcome my creative barriers. You know what I mean? That stuff's everywhere, right? You could find a million blog posts, a million YouTube videos, whatever, but it does not work. You know, I've read and seen all of that, and I'm sure you have too. It doesn't change anything. These barriers, these self-imposed limitations are so much more complex and so much deeper than any 5-step plan. And so I hope that my examination today shows you the level of depth that I'm approaching these problems with, because again, I don't want to slap a band-aid on something that is going to be unsustainable for me. And who knows, maybe this video will unlock my creative potential and I'll go on a spree of making a bunch of videos in 2024. Or maybe this will be my last video I ever make. I don't know, okay? I'm not here to predict the future. I'm not here to, you know, trick my mind into being a creator. I'm just here to try to figure out what's true for me. And so if you're still here, I really appreciate you taking time to listen, and I hope it at least resonates and maybe you feel understood. To wrap this up, I wanted to quickly read just a quote from Jim Carrey. I was watching this commencement speech that he did, and there was this bit that I felt really hit home and I think is relevant to what we're talking about. So I'll wrap it up with this. To find real peace, you have to let the armor go. Your need for acceptance can make you invisible in this world. Don't let anything stand in the way of the light that shines through this form. Risk being seen in all your glory. Thanks for watching.